you eventually make it with Bus Stop. You're making hit singles. You broke into the top 10 with Kung Fu Fighting. You're collaborating with huge names like Carl Douglas, Randy Bachman. You're on Top of the Pops. What are your memories of that time?
Matt, I'll tell you, I wish I could turn back the clock and do it all again, because I never enjoyed it. And here's the thing, and here's the reason why. So you listen to all these footballers and they go, I got to the FA Cup final and I never enjoyed it. It's exactly the same. Let's put it this way, right? You know, I'm just a working class geezer from Stockport. I mean, you know what I mean? Stockport. I went to Avondale School where nothing happens to anyone, you know. And, you know, my first official release sells 1 million copies. And suddenly, within 3 months, I've gone from nothing to being on the same program as the Spice Girls. Now, anyone listening to this will understand that in 1998, the Spice Girls were, I'd say, the pop equivalent of Oasis, and everyone knows the size. They were the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm sat right next to them on a level playing field. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And in those days, Top of the Pops was filmed at Elstree, which is where EastEnders is made. And I mean, that first Top of the Pops, I remember Lionel Richie coming. Lionel Richie knew Carl Douglas. I remember Lionel Richie coming into the dressing room, and the place was, I mean, you couldn't see. There was that much Jamaican smoke going on. And he popped in, he went, hey guys. And I stood up and went, Lionel, is it me you're looking for? And he just looked at me as if there was bug shit on my foot and went, yeah, and then he fucked off. But, you know, Bryan Adams, Spice Girls, Oasis, Boyzone, and all these bands, you know, I'd see, Top of the Pops was like a hub, you know, because it was the main music show. So when that happened, you know, you thought, oh, I've made it. However, looking back on it, I never enjoyed it. It was almost like, well, I was managed by Tom Watkins for a while, and you know, who had Pet Shop Boys, E17, Bros, very famous music manager. Before I had a hit, I was actually with Tom, and we lived down in London. We had a band called the Bass Boys, which was like sort of PJ and Duncan Out Here Brothers thing. And he said to me, he said, the chase is the buzz. When you get there, someone like you, Daz, because you like me, will get disenfranchised very quickly. And he was absolutely right. As soon as I got there, it was like, what? This is it. But when I look back now, talking to you, and I'm thinking, I'm like, as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking of all the memories of, okay, I remember coming out of the toilets at Top of the Pops, and Natalie Imbruglia was stood like a foot. I almost bumped into her, and she's like one of the most beautifulest women in the world. And you're thinking, Jesus. And it's like, you know, as I used to watch Neighbours, you know, Emma Bunton, you know, like sat 2 foot away from me in the canteen. It's just so surreal. It's unbelievable. And I just sort of never enjoyed it, because I was naive enough to think that I was that talented, that it was going to go on forever, and it just doesn't.